going to just put together a short yoga sequence. It's designed to build core strength for runners. You might have seen it in the Hawaii Sport magazine. So basically we're going to go through some planks, and there are a couple of variations that I add in there. Then we're also going to do the obliques, and we're going to do a little bit of work for the back of the body as well. But I've just done a short kind of sequence, so feel free to repeat it. You might like to press pause, or you might like to slow it down. Just do whatever you feel is necessary to help you build some good core strength. Again, make sure you've got a nice flat surface. You don't necessarily need a yoga mat, but you might need something to support the front of the body when we do locust pose. Add a blanket or maybe something like that that's going to give you some extra cushioning. But again, listen to your body, listen to your breathing. Don't forget to breathe. It's very easy to hold our breath when we're concentrating. So try and use your breathing to help you get stronger and just enjoy your practice. Starting at the top of your mat, inhale, reach the arms up overhead, and exhale, make your way into a forward bend. You can add in the halfway lift if you'd like to, but if not, just step back into plank pose, looking for that long line through from the crown of the head back through to the heels. You can always drop down onto the forearms and make this a forearm plank as well. If not, just hold plank, breathing nice and deeply for 5 to 8 breaths. Another option is to just drop the knees down at any time you'd like to. So from here, separate the feet so you can lift the hips up and back and come into a downward dog, stretching out the back of the legs, just walking the dog, bending one knee at a time if you'd like to, just listening to the ankles, the calves and the Achilles here, but just breathing nice and deeply, looking for that inverted V shape. We're going to transition back through to plank, moving with control and really engage the core to lift the hips up and back to downward dog again. Walking out the dog, of course, anytime you like to, just to really access the muscles in the back of the leg. From here, we're going to come into a side plank, so bringing the arm directly underneath the shoulder, stretch through the fingertips, and if you'd like to, lift the upper leg, keeping the core engaged and the hips lifted. You can transition through back to plank and then down onto the forearms, and if you'd like to, you can do a side plank on the forearm, again stretching through the fingertips, dropping to one knee if that feels more comfortable and stable, and then again lifting the top leg just for an added challenge. But hold from anywhere for 5 to 8 breaths and then drop back down onto the forearms so we can just take a child's pose to stretch out the back, drop the tailbone down towards the heels and extend the arms out in front of you. Now we're just going to work through some of the back core muscles, so we're going to set up for a reverse tabletop, hands underneath the shoulders, hands facing forward if that feels good, but lift the hips up and really squeeze the glutes and the hamstrings to maintain that tabletop position. Another variation is to extend the legs out in front, really point the toes, squeeze all the muscles and lift the hips up again. But if you feel any compromise in the lower back, just do the full kind of tabletop with the legs bent. Drop back down to the ground, just hug yourself, make yourself into a tiny ball to release the back. And then we're just going to prepare for boat pose. So find yourself on your sit bones, extend the spine, sit up nice and tall, keeping the spine straight. We're going to keep the knees bent and then take the arms up overhead if you'd like to, and then roll down, extending the arms and legs and then using the core sit up. We're going to repeat this a couple of times, keeping the feet just hovering off the ground. You can always drop the toes to the ground at any time you'd like to, or extend the legs into full boat pose, but again listening to those hamstrings if you're a runner. Cross the legs, just hug the forehead towards the knees, stretch out the back here, and we're just going to prepare for a little bit of extra core work on the back of the body. So now we're going to do locust pose. So making your way onto your belly, stretch out the legs and the arms down by the side of the body, exhale and lift up. So squeezing the shoulder blades together behind you, stretching the fingers down towards the feet. We're really using everything to lift the body up off the ground. Take a break, resting the forehead on the hands in front of you, and then repeat again, but this time interlace the fingers behind you and just again lift everything up, using the core and the back here to come into locust pose. Rest and breathe, just dropping the forehead. If you want to repeat, this time extend the arms in front of you and just imagine you're swimming through the water, maybe for 8 to 10 breaths, just paddling the feet up and down. Again, take a full rest, dropping the forehead to the knees and stretch out in child's pose. Congratulations on a great core workout.